So good morning, April the 28th, 2016. This is CISG114, Section 1, Web Technology and Life. Today is day number 28 in the week number 14, supposed to be the last class of the semester, except for the makeup class next Tuesday, May the 3rd. So let's get started. Welcome back to this officially the last class of the semester. According to the calendar and advice from the registry, I need to invite my student and I need to make sure it's not a 5 to 15 minutes will be singled out today to enable you to complete the official student feedback questionnaire that is located in your student web information system. So I remember I sent you a message earlier last week to remind you of the official online student feedback questionnaire, which has to be done today and before the end of tomorrow, because the period for this questionnaire, or better say survey, is from the 16th of April to the 29th of April based on the registry's calendar. So I would like to make sure now it's not a 5 to 15 minutes will be singled out, and you please go onto the system, the SI web system, with the specific URL isw.umac.mo/SIweb. Okay, so would you please make sure you use your mobile device, your phone, to get online to this system, where you should see a table which contains the courses you're taking this semester. And one of these courses is the CISG114, Section 1 Web Technology and Life. And so would you please proceed to complete the SFQ there, that is the official course evaluations with this GE course, and you have to complete it, and thanks to your cooperations, because according to the advice from the registry, I need to make sure a slot of 5 to 15 minutes today will be given to you all to complete this student feedback questionnaire. Okay? So if you come back now, please use your mobile device to go online to this web address to complete the student feedback questionnaire. Okay? Using 5 to 15 minutes. And definitely, if you've already done it at home, it's fine. Okay? But you should see a table of courses that you're taking in this semester, the second semester of 2015, all right? So one of the courses that is listed in that table of your record should be CISG114, Section 1, Web Technology Applied. And please spend 5 to 15 minutes to finish this SFQ, Student Feedback Questionnaire. I will resume class in about 15 minutes. Now it's 11:34, so I'm going to resume class in 11:15. All right, 11:15. So you still have enough time to do the speech of the semester. So please help complete the questionnaire. This is the official Student Feedback Questionnaire, located in the student web with this URL, as you can see from here, isw.umac.mo/SIweb. All right, thank you very much for your cooperations. Your feedback is highly cherished. It's very important to improve the next running of this course in the fourth semester, which is 2016 first semester. just came into the classroom, make sure that it's now, we're getting to the time to complete the student feedback questionnaire, Officer 1, in your student web information system of the University of Council. Go to isw.unac.mo using your mobile phone /SI web, where you can see a table of courses you're taking in this semester, and you choose the course CISG114, Section 1, Web Technology and Life, and please complete the student feedback questionnaire there. Okay? It's about 10 minutes work, so we're giving you 5 to 15 minutes. We're going to resume class at 11:15. Yes, Francis. So for those of you who came in late, allow me to just tell you that we're in the middle of inviting you to go back to the student web information system under this link for you to choose this course and complete this course student feedback questionnaire. Now please use your mobile device to go online and get into this address where you can see a table of courses that you are taking in this semester. One of these courses is CISG114 Section 1. Web Technology and Life, and pick this course. If you have not done the student feedback questionnaire, please do it now. But if you have already done it, fine. Just wait until 11:50 when we resume the class. Okay. According to the advice from the registry, each teacher at the very last class of the semester should single out 5 to 15 minutes time to remind our student and to invite them to complete the student feedback questionnaire for the course we're taking. And this is very important for us because it's a very important evaluation from the student's point of view of how we feel about this course, okay? And this link has already been open since the 16th of April and will be closed by the end of tomorrow, the 29th, okay? So that's the reasons why we need to make sure the students are reminded to do this in the very last class of the semester. And when we count the last class, we count an official last class, not next Tuesday, which is already beyond the end of the semester, as a makeup class. So after tomorrow, we cannot do this anymore, okay? That is the official deadline from the university. We'll come back to the speech of the semester start. Today we have 3 speakers. We hope that you get your PowerPoint files uploaded to the site link already. It's very important that you do that to make sure that you do not need some extras, not like a USB here, to pull out your file. And I must tell you that my experience tells me the USB is not here, does not work. So there's a lot of very interesting things. It's much better for you to upload it first before your speech is made, right? see that Tom is ready because Tom's PowerPoint is already been uploaded. Kevin's PowerPoint has not been uploaded. Science is ready. You got documents here. That's a Neo. The PowerPoint has not been uploaded here. So let's see. And Kathy, Candy, your PowerPoint has not been uploaded yet. In the meantime, I can help take attendance on the day to save some time. We get 2 to 3 minutes away from the official beginning of today's class. Let's see. We got Candy here, we got Neil here, we got Kenny here, we have Jisha here. Tom is here also. Connie is here. Mark is not here. Jerry is not here today. Tammy is here. Francis is here. Okay. Joanna is not here. Peter is here. Romina is here. Okay. Jennifer is here. Sheena is here. And then Nari is not here today. Kathy, you're here. Thank you. Alex is here. And then Isa is here. Good. Thank you very much. Coming back to me. So 1 minute, I hope that you got this already. Now, it does not mean you need to stop. You have not finished the student feedback questionnaire yet. You still can work on it until you finish it, but we still have to give it time to the several speaker today. And Tom, are you ready? Okay, I give you the time. In about 1 minute's time, okay? We now have Tom as the first speaker today to make his speech of the semester.
Hello everyone, my name is Tom. Today I'll talk about what I have learned from this class. First, in learning concept 1, Partner Peter and I have choose the information privacy and information technology to work on our learning contract. And after this learning contract, today I have a general knowledge about the information technology and information privacy. And I think the reason why our world can be developed so quickly in the 21st century, IT has played a big role in the development. So learn more about the IT is very good for us, and I believe that the IT, is indispensable, and I believe that the IT will become a major thing to which can lead the world to develop, and then the information privacy issue has caused by the quick development of the IT. So I think it is our duty to learn more about the information privacy, and it's very important for us to protect our personal information and let us build a harmonious social and internet environment. And then next is learning contract free, and we have a team with 4 members, and everyone have personal topics, and we need to discuss which will be our team topics. And after the discussion, and we choose that the photo sharing is our team topic, and the question is how do we communicate it through photo sharing. And then we have to combine the 4 topics into one, and then we have to solve several questions. And then after finish this assignment, I think our teammate is understand what is broadcast and also what is full sharing, personally and pro. And I think this is a very good topic because photo sharing has become one of the most popular ways to share our life and feelings in the world. And after combining all personal topics into one key topic, we know that there are so many ways to communicate through photo sharing. And then let me take a conclusion. First, I've learned a new skill for writing the learning journal is OIA. Following the instruction of OIA to complete the learning journal, it makes me more understand the topic which I have chosen to do the learning journal. Second, we have changed our learning style from talk to learn student to learn to learn student. Although the project is quite difficult for me because I've been a talk to learn student for many years, so but now I know that we can choose the subject which we are interested in and we wish to learn, not just follow the teacher's instruction. And third, because of the learning culture 1 and 3, and we all know that the importance of the teamwork is, if we want to finish the assignment, we need to have a good coordination with team members is dispensable. And in the process of finish all the assignment, I feel that I'm often helped by my team member because sometimes I don't know what I should do, and I feel very grateful to them, and they give me a lot of advice and for doing my individual part. It's great for us to have a course like this, and it's good for our thinking, writing, and organizing. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tom, for helping us to understand your journey through this course. And the next speaker is Cyan. You've already got your material ready from the link over there. So you just need to scroll up and go back to your link, and so that you can have the material for your reference. Thank you, Cyan. I'm sorry, okay, the USB does not work here. So I say, see that you have this picture, right? But can you upload it again here? Because you try, but according to our experience the separate day, this USB stuff does not work. So that's the reasons why I invite you to upload the PowerPoints there. Yes. Use the device to upload, yes. You can try plug it in, but it does not work based on the experience of the past several days, yes. If you use this one,
I use PPT to
yes,
PDF.
PDF, okay, yes. So please make sure you get your PowerPoint file ready on the Moodle side, so that you do not need to spend extra time to do the upload before we make the speed. Kevin, are you ready? Okay, so let's go to you. So you've already uploaded here. Let's see. I don't want to use that, all right. You see that, oh no, we do not have that HDMI. You work, you try this one, okay? Hopefully, probably does not. Can you just upload it right into? Okay, that's good, that's good, let's see. So I assume your link here. You have a link here. Let's see. This is week number 11. Close here. You should upload by clicking the So we pass the turn to Kathy first. Thank you.
Today I want to share what I learned from this semester. The first thing is what is web technology and its impact in life. Web technology is the establishment and use of mechanisms that make it possible for different computers to communicate and share resources. It's in the web number one, and web technologies provides a platform for effective communication among different users and devices on a computer network, such as Facebook and blog. People use this social media to share their opinions and make reactions during the online. Then in the web number 7, I learned what are computer primers. Computer primers are an act performed by a knowledgeable computer user, sometimes referred to as a hacker, that illegally browsers or steals the company's individuals' private information. So I think what can I do to protect ourselves while online? The first is we can use a safe password. Need to use strong passwords. It is highly recommended that we should use different passwords for each website, like across a login. If we forgot our password, I think we can use password management to help us manage our password. Second is be cautious where you are logging from various networks. It is related to information security. We should realize that all information being sent to or from your computer can be intercepted and read by someone nearby. So to prevent this from happening, we should be cautious about the public Wi-Fi and use secure network. Secure network, WEP or WPA. And then from the reading 12, I learned what is a learning portfolio. Portfolio is a powerful complement to traditional measures of student achievement. Learning portfolios engage students not only in collecting selected samples from their work for assignment, evaluation, and career development, but also encourages collaborative reflection about the process of learning. And the advantage of learning portfolio is that it is a flexible tool that engages students in the progress of continuous reflection and collaboration focused on selective evidence of learning. The portfolio provides a critical opportunity for purposeful mentored reflections and analysis of evidence for both improvement and assignment of students' learning. Such a progress is a rich, convincing, and adaptable method of recording intellectual growth and involving students in a critically reflective, collaborative progress, like arguments learning as a community over. Last, I want to thank for the Dr. Van for teach these skills in this semester. And then thank you for my partner Tammy and then my teammates Alex and Jennifer. Thank you for your efforts during this semester. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy, for helping us to understand the journey through the semester. Okay. Didn't yet. Okay, that's very good. We just need to refresh the screen. Yes. Thank you. Let's maximize the screen a little bit. Okay. Sai, pick up the microphone. Microphone. Thank you.
Which includes two topics. And the first one is with information literacy. Information literacy is the ability to know what information is needed, understand how the information is organized, comprehend how to identify, locate, evaluate, and effectively use the information. The item plan information literacy is crucial for problem solving process based on information society, in which illiterate means not being able to read and write, but on how to handle tasks and repetition at hand. Next, the second question is what information security is. Information security includes basic concepts, technologies, and social discipline. It is the practice of preventing information from confinement, illegal mass use, disruption, inspection, or destruction. And I am aware that security and privacy of information are both important. I feel we should know more about information security. If we don't care about information security, we will get in trouble. After introducing Chair 1, I will present Chair 3, which is highly competent to three questions. The first question is what the forecast is. The forecast is a form of digital writing that consists of a specific series of audio, video, digital radio, PDF, or EPUB files is transcribing downloading automatically through communication of being online to a computer or mobile device. And then the second is why forecast is so popular. In my view, its priority is because the application of forecast can lead to less of having steps, including entertainment, education, business, and so on. And the last question, what we make a forecast? To start forecast, we decide the times, prepare scripts, and return audio. Afterward, please do one website and hard estimate. Then upload your audio file to it, and it will work. After learning is to interact and learn skills by means of learning to learn activities. In collaboration with the portfolio presentation coverage has been improved. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Cyan, we thank you for your work in the semester. You finished, right? Okay, the last speaker today is Candy. Are you ready, Candy? Yet. You just need to refresh the screen. I'm afraid USB. Oh, okay, that's good, that's good. You just need to log me out, log you in. Yes. Week number 11, our public online discussion forum. Yes, the first one. Thank you.
Morning everyone. Today I'm going to talk about what I've learned in this course. At the very beginning, we have considered the question about is web technology making your life better? So my answer is yes. And I still remember what I've said previously during class. Web technology benefits me from connecting with my families and friends, no matter how far between us, and keeps on updating me for the world news and what's happening around us. The fact is, I've learned from using the internet, and basically it's improving us. One thing that I need to mention is I just know there is a big difference between a web and an internet, so forgive my ignorance. And the second thing is, I want to talk about what is reflective learning. So I guess all of you know what reflective learning is about. Basically, I want to talk about reflective learning because I found it very useful to my major, and my major is English studies. And first of all, I'm used to learn, yes, but I'm weak at memorizing some points. What I've absorbed during class is just stored in short memories, and step by step, my new strategy of learning is to first absorb the information, then bring out questions that I don't understand, and finally I'll reflect what I've learned by using my leisure time. And this is this is the way I've did to learn and to do my assignments. Probably this class and my academic writing course. First, I want to mention about the security of the internet. Another thing that I still remember the question that Professor you have asked me during class If I'm in the airport and I got a free Wi-Fi, how to prove that the free Wi-Fi is secure? So now I can answer you that there are 2 points I'll find out. The first one is to set a password for each user by connecting the internet of the airport, but only can be used for maybe for an hour. After an hour, you need to connect again by using a different password that has been given. And the second method is to sign up and create a username and a passcode. Some personally information will be banned by the security system of the airport. And then, last but not the least, after we finish the last project, the e-business in YouTube with my teammates, I really want to thank them. They're Sheila, Francis, and Leo. During the process of this project, it's quite challenging and it's confusing at some point. But maybe we've got different ideas at first, but then at last we can still figure out how to deal with the problems. And yeah, so this is our team spirit, and I think that very memorably. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Candy, for sharing with us your learning throughout the semester. Now we have actually complete today's round of speech of the semesters. We have 4 speakers today, and next Tuesday, which is the makeup class day, we have about 6 speakers. Okay, so it's very exciting to see that you're willing to try this out by summarizing what you learned in a semester to make this speech. Okay, let me just log in again. All right, so that's good. And again, if you have not finished the student feedback questionnaire, I give you 5 to 10 more minutes to get it done. And then we come to some latest information that I sent you this morning in the context of technology and life. I will give you back the score for learning contract number 3's item block and your discussion forum details probably by the end of today. You've already received the score for more than 4 items. Probably in 1 or 2 days' time, all the score for learning contract number 3 will be released. And please check it and notice that sometime when I discover that the file you submit cannot be read, I will immediately tell you by sending you back a message. So check your input. All right? We got a number of very interesting news this couple of days. Some hackers broke into the US power grid to show how easy it is to screw up the system. So in a minute I'm going to show you this video. It's scary. Well, I still remember I watched the movie called, I do not know if it is Transformer. They talk about the hackers screwing up the city facility. And this is a real life story. And then some guys in Hong Kong figure out some methods to defend themselves from the ransomware. So I got to the news there. And of course, as of last week, and actually including the past Monday, we introduced to you and helped you to remember the 4C, critical thinking, right? In the context of this course, OIA, journaling, online discussions, and blog. Communications, okay, the second C. You did it through online discussions with your learning partner, with your teammates. Collaborations, in the context of learning contract number 3, you do things together with your teammates. You jointly help complete one piece of job shared by several teammates. And the 4th C is being creative. And I cannot tell you how interesting it is to watch this documentary. This is just released in 2016 by Nova Science. And today we're going to show you a little bit about this. And I would like you to find out how it is to be creative, to discover what's happening close to 5,000 years ago. Okay? So now if you have not finished the student feedback questionnaire, official one, I trust that you will continue to get it done before the end of this class of today. So since we do not have a lot of time left, I want to serve you this. This is something very interesting. Okay? Here we go.
He's the oldest human specimen we have that is so complete.
This is so well preserved. He continues to generate this body of information.
He may well be the most studied human being.
Oh, just 1 week ago in Taiwan, they discovered another body 4,800 years ago.
5,000 years.
That is a different story.
Ancient murder mystery. What can we learn from her? What is his story?
We figured it was probably Italian. Wrong. Eastern European, North African, wrong. Where's this guy from?
Scientists search for answers hidden in his genetic code.
We're rewriting the history of humankind.
As an artist, brings him back to life.
If they believe that it's real, then I've done my job.
Science and art join to share the Iceman and his secrets with the world.
We have to turn this thing from plastic to flesh.
Iceman Reborn, right now on Nova.
Major funding for NOVA is provided by the following. The David H. Code Fund for Science, supporting NOVA and promoting public understanding of science. And the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by PBS viewers like you. Thank you.
In a custom-built lab, a team of doctors suits up. Strict precautions are taken.
Okay.
Because this is a very unusual case. The patient has been dead for over 5,000 years. This is Utsi, the Iceman, one of the oldest and best preserved intact human bodies ever found. The story of Utsi's discovery is still one of the most astounding in human history. 1991, on a 10,000-foot glacier near the border of Austria and Italy, two hikers come across the body of a man, face down in the ice. They have no idea the importance of what they've stumbled upon. Perhaps it's a mountaineer, or even a lost soldier from World War I. But as they pull the remains from the ice, capturing the recovery on video, certain clues point to a different story. A knife made of stone, a shoe made of grass, a quiver of arrows, leather leggings, a copper axe. Carbon dating later reveals that the body and the items found with it have been preserved in the mountain ice for over 5,000 years. Utsi becomes not only an international sensation, but also a scientific treasure.
He's the oldest human specimen we have that is so complete, so well preserved, with all the scientific disciplines that are intrigued by him, want answers. He may well be the most studied human being in history.
Now, new technology is yielding more clues, revealing surprising secrets about this mysterious ancient man and the world he lived in. From the strange markings that cover his body to the DNA in his bones. Researchers are trying to use his genetic code to uncover his true origins. to track down his relatives alive even today, and help solve long-standing mysteries about how people lived at the end of the Stone Age.
It provides a window into what life looked like 5,000 years ago in Europe. So it's kind of like finding the Ark of the Covenant. How important is that? Yeah, it's pretty important.
The clues begin with Ötzi himself. At the time of his death, he was about 45 years old, 5 foot 2 inches tall, weighing about 110 pounds. New research deciphering Ötzi's genetic code reveals he had brown eyes, dark hair, and had both Lyme disease and a predisposition to heart disease. But that's not what killed him on the mountain. At first, it was thought that the Iceman had frozen to death in a storm and been buried in the snow. But a radiologist reviewing his x-rays spotted something strange that had escaped everyone else's notice. An arrowhead lodged deep in the Iceman's shoulder.
The arrowhead was detected in 2001, and then the question was, did the arrowhead kill him or not?
CT or CAT scans of the body, revealing Ötzi's internal anatomy in amazing detail, provided more clues.
We could reconstruct that the area where the arrow entered the body and disrupted the major artery of the left arm. If you're losing so much blood that maybe after 10-15 minutes you're dead. From this, we knew that he was killed by this arrow shot.
Shot and left to die on the mountain. The mystery was deepening. Who was Ötzi? What did he do for a living? Who were his people? And why was he killed? The answers will not be easy to find, because Ötzi's condition is so delicate. Ötzi has spent years locked in a freezer at the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology. His cell, kept at a chilly 19 degrees, is designed to protect him from potentially destructive microbes. No one enters the sterile environment except Ötzi's doctors.
The Iceman is kept under sterile condition in this refrigeration cell. That's why we have to take care who is entering the cell, because we want to avoid that anybody brings in any kind of contamination.
Yeah, ready to go?
Today, an exception has been made for an artist named Gary Stahl. Gary has been charged with a difficult mission: to sculpt an exact replica of the Iceman, a copy that will be accessible to researchers and to the public who can't get close to the real thing.
We cannot allow everybody entering the cell who has maybe a certain research question to inspect the mummy. We want to make a good copy people can use to see, to get very close, to get data which cannot be done with the original mummy. It's always really a risk.
No better than thinking 9 millimeters.
Gary has limited time to take in all the details of this rare and unique human body.
Soaking in every single detail I can lay my eyes on.
He must create the most accurate replica possible, Ötzi's twin.
Right index, 5 millimeters.
He evaluates Ötzi's skin tone and texture,
The keratin has fallen off the nail beds.
his distorted face,
Cartilage is so thin.
his ravaged hip.
Yes, we have a very big defect of soft tissues and bone tissues.
Because of the damage, this will be very difficult to replicate.
In the process of getting every detail just right, Gary will have to learn all he can about the Iceman and his times. How he lived, died, and became mummified.
What is his story? What can we learn from him? And how can he enrich our understanding of the past?
Okay?
Very good.
Dr. Eduardi Garderby calls an end to Gary's visit. Any more thawing, and the Iceman could be in danger of bacterial contamination.
Absolutely amazing. So that was the fastest 30 minutes of my life. This very intimate moment with the mummy will be very helpful in the final product. It'll be so much better because of that.
With Ötzi safe in his sterile crypt, Gary will begin to bring his body double to life. To start, the CT scans that help to determine Ötzi's cause of death will provide a detailed blueprint for the Iceman's twin. Thanks to a remarkable technology, 3D printing. Ötzi will literally be printed out in 3 dimensions.
We use our software to transform the CT images into a 3D model that you can print.
Special software converts the data into a stack of over 2,000 horizontal slices, creating a blueprint of Ötzi's body. This is then fed into a computer, which controls a gigantic 5-foot by 18-foot machine known as the Mammoth.
They have the ability to create the entire print.
We need to skip the act. We study YouTube to understand the implications.
The Mammoth.
They have the ability to create the entire print in one piece, which is very rare.
In this enormous vat, 350 gallons of liquid resin, the consistency of warm honey, will be transformed into a life-size plastic model of the Iceman. The computer guides lasers around a thin layer of liquid resin.
We use a laser to trace out cross-sections of Ötzi, and under UV light, the polymer starts to harden. Once it solidifies, just a few seconds, a very thin layer is positioned on top of it. The laser hardens it out again, and this way the model is built layer by layer.
For nearly 3 days, the lasers continue their work, little by little, until every small bump and hollow on the surface of the Iceman's body is present and accounted for.
So this is very exciting. We're using the newest technologies to 3-dimensionally print the oldest wet mummy ever found.
Finally, it's time to reveal the 3D print.
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic.
Transformed from liquid to solid.
The face details are beautiful. That is absolutely fantastic.
Ötzi's body has been reconstructed as one extremely detailed hollow piece of plastic.
Beautifully translucent, but it still captures all the forms and the shapes. Lovely.
As the model emerges, the Iceman is reborn.
Ötzi coming out of this resin was kind of overwhelming because slowly his face was revealed, his feet were revealed, his rib cage. And it was super exciting to know that that 3-dimensional print was at such a high resolution to really have something to work with.
It is on this plastic Ötzi that Gary will sculpt the lifelike version.
It's a treat to see it in one color because there's nothing distracting your eye. I'm also looking at anatomical features that correspond to the structures that I saw in the freezer.
While Gary reviews Ötzi's plastic form, scientists continue to hunt down clues about the flesh and blood man. For Albert Zink, who oversees research on the mummy, Ötzi's CT scans are especially valuable. Because a look at Ötzi's muscles and joints can tell us a lot about his life and lifestyle. Perhaps even how he made a living. The 2 main ways of life 5,300 years ago were farming and hunting and gathering.
And to reconstruct the muscle structure, how the muscles are attached to the bones, just to distract all these from the CT scans.
Zink notices Ötzi did not show signs of strain in his upper body muscles and joints. That might rule out farming.
In this upper part, the shoulders, the arms and hands, there's almost nothing. And for a man which was about 40 to 50 years old at this time period, we would expect some changes if he had worked with his hands.
The scans do indicate severe damage in the muscles and joints of his legs and back, which suggests he was a constant traveler. Also, the mummy's knee and hip joints are missing a lot of their cartilage, a painful condition called arthrosis, a kind of arthritis caused by wear and tear.
The physical effects of the Iceman were that he had lower back problems. The same is true for the knee. We know that he had some arthrosis of the knee joints, and this caused pain from time to time.
Ötzi died in the mountains. and he likely spent much of his life there too.
We know from his physical appearance that he was walking a lot, that he maybe was carrying heavy things, so maybe he was trading something. It could be that he was really traveling a lot, but we cannot really say what was his role in society.
Searching for even more evidence about this enigmatic man, scientists perform a kind of autopsy on Ötzi. They remove specimens from inside his most culturally sensitive organ, his stomach. And they are able to extract Ötzi's last meal, eaten only hours before his death. Some of the contents point to Ötzi being a hunter.
So much material from the stomach now. He had wild ibex meat in his stomach, so he was clearly hunting for part of his sustenance. He also had einkorn wheat. Einkorn wheat has to come from farming. It's this classical, kind of interesting mystery. Ötzi's sending us mixed messages about how he's living his life.
In addition to food, researchers also found different kinds of pollen in the Iceman's stomach. This revealed that Ötzi had been traveling up and down the mountain within the last 48 hours of his life. Ötzi seems to have been a man on the move, whose adventures came to a violent end. More than 5,000 years later, Ötzi's twin is on a journey of its own, across the Atlantic Ocean, all the way to Kearney, Missouri, the American heartland. Here, Gary Staub brings ancient fossils back to life. He is a master model maker. And over the years, he has been commissioned to build replicas of dozens of extinct creatures for museums around the world. He has fashioned prehistoric fish, sculpted life-size dinosaurs, and crafted giant crocodiles.
I've spent entirely way too much time on the inside of large animals.
From the miniature to the monstrous, whether it swims, crawls, or flies, Gary's job is to resurrect the long dead.
So the fascinating fact is that 99% of all life that has ever existed on Earth is extinct. So I follow floods, I follow volcanic eruptions, mass death events. I'm a bit of an ambulance chaser, but I'm just a little bit late. Maybe a few thousand years late. In some cases, 50 or 60 million years late.
Gary's investigations, all to better understand his subjects and the worlds they lived in, have taken him around the globe. From exotic excavation sites to ancient fossil fields.
Most of the time, my job is to sculpt animals for museums, and we only have their bones. We only have fossils. So I have to take something that no one is exactly sure what it looked like and try and breathe life into it. This is a neat situation. We know exactly what Iceman looks like. So my job is to replicate him exactly as he looks right now. What's in here?
Now, Gary faces one of the biggest challenges of his career. Creating the exact replica of Ötzi, the Iceman.
All right, like the Neolithic Christmas.
The plastic model generated by the 3D printer has just arrived in his studio.
It was an amazing feeling to finally lift him out of the crate and take him onto the table. By the time we finished, we worked thousands of hours.
3D printing technology has provided the artist with a good head start. A model with physical dimensions exact to the millimeter. It's a perfect match to the shape of the Iceman. But the surface of the model is not detailed enough to create a believable replica.
So we've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Gary and his team will need to sculpt Ötzi the old-fashioned way. All by hand.
There's not 1 centimeter of this thing that isn't complicated. It is going to be very hard.
It will be a 4-part process. Sculpting, molding, painting, and crafting minute surface details will take Gary and his team months to complete.
The challenges are many. We have not only the elements of the skin texture, we have the detail of the face, we have the detail of the hands, and we have to figure out how to replicate the hips. So the hip is going to be very challenging to do. You guys start on this end and work your way up, and I'll start on the head, and then I'll somewhere in the middle. I hope.
The first step darken the mummy's body to better reveal the exact contours of the 3D print.
We can't actually read the surface when it's translucent. So we take a very dark and penetrating stain and we paint it over the top of the three-dimensional print. It allows us to see the surface in a much better way. So we can read those shapes and then actually make judgments on how we're going to sculpt the surface based on what we see. There are thousands of considerations, not hundreds, thousands of considerations that have to be taken into account while you're doing this.
Next, Gary replicates Utzi's skin with especially valuable modeling clay. As the thin clay bonds to the resin, Gary and his team sculpt every detail of the mummy's surface texture, inch by inch. Getting Utzi's skin just right is one of the main challenges for Gary and his crew.
We have to turn this thing from plastic to flesh.
Human skin is actually an organ, the largest we have. On average, it takes about 20 square feet of skin to cover a human body. It will take hundreds of hours to replicate Utzi's complex mummified surface.
Figure out some of these that might work well, and then run some samples.
Gary relies on texture pads to press patterns into Utzi's clay skin.
I have hundreds of textures in a box, so I pull them out to see which ones might match.
These flexible rubber patches create varied imprints on the wet clay. Human skin has 3 layers. The epidermis, or outer layer, acts as a waterproof wrapping and a guard against infection. It also determines our skin color. The next layer, the dermis, is made up of tough connective tissue, along with nerve endings, hair follicles, and sweat glands. Finally, the deep hypodermis consists of subcutaneous fat and more connective tissue. Gary and his team are sculpting the second layer of Utzi's skin, the dermis. Most of the outer layer was lost to the mummy.
Wenn man sich die Haut
If you look at the skin of this mummy, you have to realize that this body has been lying in ice for years. The ice isn't always stable, so in summer the ice melts into water. If it's in water for too long, the upper layer of the skin, the epidermis, separates, and you lose it. The layers underneath, the dermis and the subcutaneous layer, remain preserved. Also, a lot of hair, fingernails, and toenails have been lost.
Enough of the Iceman's skin, along with soft tissue and muscle, has been preserved to make Utzi a true mummy. For Gary, Utzi is not the first mummy he has replicated, but certainly one of the most unique. Mummies can be created naturally or artificially. Artificial mummies, like those from ancient Egypt, were made by intentionally blocking the decaying process.
The important thing during mummifications is that it happens immediately. So the natural process is the degradation and the decomposition of the body. So it has to be stopped immediately.
This was the case for one of the most famous mummies of all, the Egyptian pharaoh, King Tutankhamun. He was embalmed and then coated in a black, resin-like liquid that encased and preserved his skin. But in natural mummies, like Utzi, or those discovered on mountaintops in the Andes, or bog bodies found buried in peat, the environment alone preserves the body.
The Iceman is a natural mummy. He was naturally captured in the ice. And he's also a humid mummy. So he still contains some water in his tissue that makes him also difficult to preserve.
It is luck.
You see that this is a 15 minutes, 48 minutes documentary, and we watch about half of this. And I highly recommend you go home and finish watching it and see how science and technology could blend together to become a creative solutions to reproduce this mummy for our study when we discover the knowledge from it. So it is right here in week number 14 of your Moodle site. When you go to week number 14, when you go to the public online discussion forum, you'll discover that I put the link here for you to enjoy after your class today. I think that it's how I used to make sure you have the impressions of being creative, how they become creative enough to study this very interesting 5,000-year-old mummy, all right? So I think that's it for today's class, the very last class of the semester. Again, if you have not done this before the end of today, please make sure you go to the iswfac.mo. That is the Officer Student Feedback Questionnaire site, where you should discover a table of courses that you're taking this semester. Enter the course CISG114, Section 1, Web Technology and Life, and kindly complete the Student Feedback Questionnaire before the end of today. Okay? The last day to do it is tomorrow. And so we have one more class next Tuesday. That is the makeup class. Come back here, this room, the same time, 11:30. We'll have the last class where we have 6 students making their speech of the semester. All right, allow me to make sure I got some update on the attendance for today because some of you came in late. Make sure that I did not forget to do this. So let's check. Let's see. Jerry is back, and then Joanna is back. Nari is not here. Okay, that's it for today. I hope to see you back here next Tuesday one more time. Thank you very much.